Finding a fulfilling career that feels like the right fit can take a while. In fact, according to the U.S. Department of Labor, the average person has held 12 different jobs by the time that they're 50.
Now, November is National Career Development Month. It's a great opportunity to grow your skill set and reevaluate your job-related goals. And we're joined now by Kate Schaefers, a career expert from the University of Minnesota. You're talking with us about kind of that later life career transitions, which feels like a big, overwhelming topic, but one we're hearing a lot about.
Yeah, and I think it's really important to know it's never too late to change careers. You know, oftentimes we feel like the career we're in is no longer fitting our lifestyle, especially when we think about late career and, you know, what we want out of that time of life. But it's also, you know, we can also have just this gentle urge of wanting to try something new.
But at the same time, as people get a little older, are they sometimes, would you say, more willing or less willing to make big leaps? Because it's, you know, you think maybe they've been planning for financial comfortability, security, and is it more difficult for people who are, let's say, post 50?
Yeah, well, so a lot of people are looking at their lives and realizing that they're not going to have a traditional retirement, that they're probably going to continue working in some capacity. So I think that does open up the idea about making a change to have a sustainable career that's going to take you into that next stage. And so sometimes that career move is a timely thing. You can do it in your 50s and your 60s even. And looking at the potential of finding work that's going to continue on as you age.
Sure. So I guess the question would be, how do you begin to find or figure out what that job is for you?
Yeah, you know, it's a really common phenomena that people think they can think their way out of it. So if I step back and if I do some planning and I do a lot of reflecting, and the research is really clear that yes, you may need to think about some things that are different and what you want, and most people have a clear sense about what they don't want, but thinking about what you want. But the best way to make that change is to craft experiments, try things out in little ways. Don't quit your job, but start doing some things like take a stretch assignment at work or volunteer your skills in a new way to try something out, because you don't want to invest a whole lot of time and money in a career change if you don't really feel like it's a good fit. And it's hard to know if it's a good fit if you don't try something. And the other way you could try it out is to take some classes. You know, non-credit classes. The university offers a lot of continuing ed classes that can help you develop your skills, strengthen skills in areas like technology, or take you in different directions. And so just take a class, see if you actually like it.
Sure.
We know ageism is real, and especially when it comes to looking for work. How do you develop strategies to kind of combat maybe your years of experience versus someone who may look at as somebody, you know, this older as just being too old?
Yeah, there's a couple of strategies just on that first impression of a resume or LinkedIn profile. Like, don't put your whole experiences. Don't say, you know, what year you graduated from high school, and, you know, don't add some information there. You know, make it shorter, you know, maybe the last 10 years, and that's really what's most relevant as you're looking at a career change. But it's also really important to anticipate where some of those stereotypes are coming from and to nip them in the bud. Like, for instance, for a lot of companies, they worry that an older worker is not going to be okay reporting into a younger boss that may have less experience than them. And so I think going into an interview and talking about how you've worked together with young adults, how you've, you know, how you can really get along is so important. And also for older adults too, to kind of think about, sometimes they're looking for a downshift job, and the assumption is that they won't be happy if they accept less money, and just to be clear up front to address it.
Sure, that's a good idea. Is there, I know this month in particular is one with the job career, you know, that we've been talking about, but if you are looking right now, it feels like the busiest time of the year. But is there the best time of year to be looking for a new job? I feel like I went round and round on that, but...
Yeah. Well, so if you're talking about applying for jobs, there's times when you get lulls, like the holidays. You know, companies have people off, and so, you know, you're just going to have longer time with listening for responses. But I would say, I mean, again, the best strategy is networking. And so most jobs come from what we call weak ties. So strong ties are the people who know us really well, that are in our lives, but the people that they know are really some of the best sources for job leads. And that should be happening not only when you're looking for a job, but you're keeping your network alive and stay connected with people at every stage of your career, even when you're really happy in a job.
That's interesting. Not necessarily the person you know, but the person they know.
Yes.
Okay.
That's a very good tip.
Yeah.
Now, you mentioned you touched on the resume and really to put things on there, more recent, more relevant to what, might work with you today. What are some other suggestions as far as maybe a cover letter in just introducing yourself?
Yeah, so a cover letter is really designed to personalize your resume for that job. And so you want to be communicating how excited you are and what a great fit this is, and just opening up an interest in you for this specific job. But there's also a couple of other tricks. Like, for one thing, if you're using an old email that that is not as professional as it should be, or maybe also an old I don't want to pick on any of the email servers.
Hotmail?
But, okay.
Yeah.
AOL. Like, you're going to date yourself with that. So get a Gmail email or something that is much more current in how people are looking at it. And also, don't use a name like Grandma 46.
Yeah.
Like, you just want to make sure that you're not giving away. Right?
Yeah. No. Okay, that makes sense. And it's simple to get a new email.
Yeah.
It really is a very easy step. For sure. Kate, great
and then
advice.
also I was going to say, and make sure your skills are up to date. Show that you know how to use technology, and that's an easy thing. And I also want to say, we have a stereotype that older adults are not good at technology, and we all are not good at every technology that's out there. We tend to use what we need, and so just make sure you're up to date on the kinds of things that are used in the workplace today.
And some easy classes to get there.
Yes.
Awesome. All right, Kate, thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Thanks so much.
All right, it is 9:36 now. We've been talking about this and will until Thanksgiving, which is just around the corner. And this year, turkey prices are down, but inflation is still driving up